What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush, Let's Talk Jets. Hope everybody's had an excellent week. The sun is finally coming back out in New Jersey, which is a refreshing change. When it comes to this team, it seems like there's never a dull moment. There's always something going on, or always something being reported, or speculated, or rumor. I guess that's been par for the course for this team for the past, decade? Last year they were like the biggest story in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers, Hard Knocks, all the hype. Their chance to win a Super Bowl for the first time in 50 years and everything else. And then the season was a complete disappointment with the Rodgers injury and the way they melted down the stretch and all the Zach Wilson stuff. So it's like, I understand why the media does, because the media does these things. Because first of all, free agency's dying down. You still have another, month till the draft. So everybody's searching for stories. And the Jets are an easy story because once you post something out there, social media goes crazy because they're a team that everybody loves to pick on. And right now, they're easy pickings because of all the perceived dysfunction, all the problems, all the uncertainty. You got to keep in mind, like last year, at the end of the year, you could have made a decent argument that you could have made a change at general manager, you could have made a change at head coach, offensive coordinator, and whatever else. So the stories are easy to come up with. But for Woody Johnson to now respond to a report on X, to me, is kind of like ridiculous because you look at it like this. The report was Woody got into an argument with Robert Saleh at a dinner. And then, Connor Hughes came out and said, you know what, that's not true. Now, when these stories first come out, obviously the Jets are going to tell somebody, their local sources in the media, dispel this, it's not true. For Woody to come out and do it just kind of shows the insecurity of this organization. Like Woody as an owner, since he's been here, is always worried about headlines, making money, and the perception of his team. Always. They just always worry. Like even Saleh talked about it, like last year when people were worried about what kind of coach he was. He talked about how he needed a quarterback. Like at some point, I don't care about any of this. Just win football games. Who cares if people are making fun of you? Who cares if there's rumors out there? Like it doesn't really matter because you know what? You have till September to just work your ass off and find a way to win football games. That's all that matters. Win the AFC East. Get a home playoff game. Win playoff games. Like, it's been 13 years since the playoffs, man. Like, I don't really care. Like, as an organization, like you have to have other focuses, other responsibilities than sitting here worrying about what people are saying about you. Seriously, if it makes you look bad, you know what makes you look worse? The fact you're not winning games. That year in and year out, you're disappointing your fans. You know what makes you look worse? Raising ticket prices during a win streak, and you don't make the playoffs again. And then your explanation was, that's a cost of doing business. We got to raise ticket prices. Like things like that, we get so, like the headlines of this little argument overshadow so many other things the Jets have done wrong over the last couple of years that like this is just funny that it's getting that much attention. So for me, the other thing too is you got to think about the Jets have had a lot of changes in the front office this offseason too. Hogan's gone. I think Chad Alexander's gone. Some players are gone. So now, slowly but surely, when you have a team that's kind of like at the brink where you're in a win now year and a lot of pressure to win, people that left can get their parting shots off as well. So this is all part of the process, man. But I think for me, like as a fan, you can believe what you want. You cannot believe what you want. I really don't care who's fighting, who's arguing. I'm glad people are upset. To be honest with you, I'm glad people are pissed off. Now, if you want to have a concern, is that Woody Johnson is way too actively involved in personnel decisions and how the money's being spent. Because then it's like, is he holding back Douglas? Is he forcing things they don't want to do? And that's where you get a little uncomfortable, where it's like you want football guys making football decisions. And, and you watch Woody Johnson try to explain, the benefit of Aaron Rodgers at the last thing. He's like, well, as a receiver, you count to 10, the ball will be in your hands. Like Woody, like he can't talk. Like don't try to talk football. Like just stay out of the way. Pay for the players. Go promote your new uniforms and just stay out of the way and let these guys do what they can do because I don't want any excuses going into next year. The last thing you want is, well, the Jets could have had this, but this happened. No. Win now year. No excuses. Maximize every resource you have with the best roster you can on the field and move forward. So going forward, like I know people were asking once the report came out to make a video, and I didn't. I wanted to see it all play out. And I'm like, at this point, it's like I don't care. Get me to the draft, see what happens there. Get to the third tier of free agency, see what happens, and let's get to OTAs and training camp and move on. Because, this all this is just background noise at this point, man. Like, I don't care what Saleh's slogans are. I don't like the new logos are great, wonderful. I don't care. Win football games. It's exhausting to be a Jet fan when you're not winning games. In terms of the next moves to be made, people keep asking about the Jadeveon Clowney going to the Panthers. Doesn't really bother me all that much. I think the Jets, look at the defense, you may have some concerns about, the run defense. Is it going to be good enough? The pass rushers, if Jermaine Johnson gets injured. But at some point, you have to get Will McDonald. He's a first-round pick. You got to see what you have there. You got to say, you picked him in the first round for a reason. He's got to become a player. A lot of pressure on him. If you want to bring another guy in, there's rumors a couple of guys are coming in this week. That's great, but the defense isn't been the problem. Everybody's been, touting Jeff Ulbricht's this great defensive coordinator. Sal is this great defensive mind. So if you lose a piece to your puzzle as great defensive minds, they should be able to overcome that and offset that. You have 3 good cover corners. The defense isn't going to be the problem. To me, it's like if I'm spending money, which I wouldn't, I saw the Clowney money. I'm spending money. You want to go out and get Tyler Boyd? I'm not sure if he signed yet. It's March 29th. You want to go get Beckham? You want to go spend money on a backup running back, a legit one? You want to sign Bakhtiari or somebody else? I'm spending the money on the offense, man. I want this offense to be as good as humanly possible. Spend the money there. If you got to find, extra help on defense, you can go, later on in free agency or in the draft. Not even the draft, just later on in free agency. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, I guess this is where me being an old fan's coming out because I'm just annoyed by things where these stories don't even faze me. Like, I don't care about the argument. I don't care about Woody's response. I just want to see this team finally be respectable and put a product on the field that we can be proud of, a product on the field that's exciting, and win. Just win already.